everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Lodestore's Lending Leaders. This week, I'm joined by Gary Martinek from Angel Oak Mortgage Solutions. Thank you so much for joining me. We are here at the MARC Conference. So this is our second ever live recording of this podcast. So welcome, Gary, to the
Thank
podcast.
you very much. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, how did you get your start in the mortgage industry?
Well, it was a long time ago. Hate to admit it, but it was almost 30 years ago, and it was somewhat accidental.
Okay.
Because when I got out of the military, I was moving back to the East Coast, and I was looking for employment, and a headhunter actually directed me to a mortgage company. I had a young family at the time, and that was back in 1993.
Perfect.
And I've been in it ever since.
That's great. And now we're starting to see more non-QM solutions be introduced to market with everything that's going on. Where do you see that going in the future?
Well, I mean, it just came back into being within the last 7-8 years, and is really starting to take off. So I would say moving forward from today, last year it became a bigger part of the industry. Today, refis are slowing down. So this year and moving forward, we really see it being a much, much bigger part of the industry. So maybe this year something in the neighborhood of anywhere from $60 to $80 billion in production in the non-QM space for various reasons.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. We see this shift happening with everything going on. And what are you hearing from clients now in this current market? What are they looking for out of their solutions?
So, I mean, this market is much, much different than it was even 6 months ago. 6 months ago, most loan officers were dealing with refinances.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of refinances, picking the low-hanging fruit. Today, 6 months down the road, those have dried up pretty much. So now, say, last year, 6 months ago, this wasn't a big piece of the puzzle for them. But today, they need to make every loan work that they possibly can. So they need these products to be able to sell to their referral partners so they don't leave any business on the table. It's more important now than, like I said, just 6 months ago.
100%. And how are brokers able to compete against each other and compete against these much larger lenders in the industry, right? When we're talking about the Quickens, the Rocket Mortgage Home Loans, Matter, all of that.
Sure. Well, I mean, these products are designed for the purchase market. I mean, we do refinances as well, but it's all relationship driven. So how they can compete is they have their referral partners, and what they can do is educate their referral partners, whether it's builders, real estate agents, financial advisors, who don't know much at all about these programs. So it's critical that they use these products to educate their referral partners. So one thing that we do is we do a lot of presentations. We do lunch and learns with our referral partners. Our referral partners are loan officers.
Yep.
So we'll go out and we'll do presentations to real estate agents, and we ask them, how many people here have heard of a bank statement loan for self-employed or a debt service coverage ratio loan? Very few people actually raise their hands because they don't, to a large extent, don't even know these products are available. So it's the whole information education piece that's important. And whether or not you're a small broker or a large company, that's the way to get the word out.
100%. And we see there's always kind of been this lack of clarity in the mortgage industry of, one, it's just hard to understand, right? There's so many different products, so many different solutions. And we see more and more that people are really leaning into providing information up front because it entices people to actually want to work with them because they feel like you're being transparent and honest from the beginning of the process. It sounds like you guys are doing a great job of that with your lunch and learns.
Yeah.
In your time working with lenders over the last 30 years, how has technology changed how you use it?
Well, I mean, if you're going back to when I started, I mean, I didn't even have a laptop. Way back when. So it's become a lot more streamlined because most functions in the business can be done online. Whether it's either the actual borrower themselves or the brokers themselves who are brokering us loans, whether it's loan submission, locking a loan, processing a loan, everything's done for the most part online.
Yeah.
So it's changed it, making the process a lot easier than it was, even 10 years ago.
100%. Yeah. And so we're at a conference right now.
Yeah.
How do you see the role that conferences play in the next couple years with everything going on?
So for what we do in the non-QM world, when we do lunch and learns, right, we'll do the same presentation for loan officers. We'll come into a company, we'll do a presentation, we'll say, raise your hand if you've done a bank statement loan before. If you raise your hand, if you've done a debt service coverage ratio loan for investors before. About 30% of the people actually raise their hands. So conferences like this are great because you've got a lot of retail people coming through here who still don't know exactly what we do. So this is a great place for them to get informed because, you know, when they funnel through here and talk to us at the booth and they ask us what we do, a lot of times it's one of the first chances they've gotten to start to dig into it.
And interact,
Yeah.
And then our last question that we always ask on Lending Leaders is, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What gets you excited for your day?
So right now, in our market space, we just see this taking off.
Yeah, it's an
this
opportunity
year.
market.
Given the way the economy is right now and the market shift and the rate environment, this is really going to be a great year for the non-QM lenders. And moving forward, so that's what gets me out of bed is like what the future holds for this, because it looks like it's just going to keep getting better and better for what we do.
100%. I think there's definitely, we're going to see a lot of people make their space in the industry right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to start to see the next chapters of leaders
Sure.
in what's happening.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Gary, for
You're
joining
welcome.
me for our second ever in-person recording.
Sure.
And it's a pleasure. Where can people find you if they're interested in non-QM products?
So our website is angeloakms.com.
Perfect.
MS, like for mortgage solutions, angeloakms.com. You can find account executives across the country. All of our programs are listed there. Our pricing engine is right there. So go to that website and you can pretty much find anything you need about what we do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
And it's a pleasure to be here at MARC with you.
Thanks very much.
We'll see everyone next week.